3,000 liters, 300 wind-ons, 8 fully spooled Shimano BFCs, 8 extra 350-yard spools of 30-pound mainline, and 25 cases of bait. These are only a few of the things that make up the preseason prep for the Magdalena Bay fishery. But once that work is done, it's a question of the daily grind. The work needed to make sure that every tied knot has the chance to be put up to the ultimate test, an angry striped marlin at the end of the line. Welcome to my ultimate billfishing masterclass, 5 steps to ensuring success when trolling a legendary light tackle fishery like Mag Bay. Step 1, bait care and rigging. In Mag Bay, crews are going through a case of Ballyhoo bait a day because the fishery is just that incredible. When prepping bait for rigging, always make sure to defrost the bait in saltwater. The Yeti loadout 5-gallon bucket is perfect for holding several dozen bait at a time, no matter what is going on in the cockpit. The non-slip ring and super strong build ensure that the bucket isn't going anywhere. And the hefty hauler handle means you can dip the bucket over the side to fill with clean salt water without worrying about anything breaking, which is totally epic. When rigging, no matter if you are using wire or floss, there are a couple key elements you need to make sure are taken into account. 1, that the bait is properly gutted. A poopy bait isn't gonna swim. 2, that the chin weight is tucked tightly into the bait. 3, the swivel or floss for the hook is centered on the head. 4, the mouth of the bait is firmly shut. And 5, that the beak is cut back. I prefer to store my baits in a Yeti Tundra 65 on the deck. It sits nicely on the deck, keeps my baits happy, and fits 2 bait trays perfectly, each of which can store up to 72 rigged baits. Make sure to store your baits with backs salted. When rigging the night before, cover the baits with foil to prevent any condensation, aka fresh water, from dripping onto them. Pack shaved ice in the bottom of the cooler and then stack the foil wrap trays on top to make sure your baits are fresh and crisp for the next day of fishing. Step 2, trolling and line management. My preference when light tackle fishing is a 4-bait spread with 2 squid chain teasers and 2 dredges. The reason I don't like to fish more baits in the water is because I want my baits to have mobility in the spread, and anything more than 4 lines ends up working against the efficiency of the operation. As an angler, to maximize the odds of every bite, I recommend holding the rod in full free spool, this means no clicker, with your right thumb on the reel and your left hand feeling the line. With light tackle and a bit of practice, it's very easy to sense variations and changes around your bait while feeling the line. And this technique often gives the angler a valuable nanosecond of notice before the bite or strike of the fish. Standing all day in the cockpit holding a rod with both hands occupied can be a draining task, and there is no doubt that staying hydrated and caffeinated is a key part of the billfishing experience. Since fishing can go from 0 to 60 in the blink of an eye, I cannot rely on a cup holder availability while drinking my mandatory morning coffee. For this reason, I prefer to take any drinks I don't plan on gulping down in either a Yeti low ball or a Yeti mug, because the wide base and low center of gravity prevents tipping over, no matter if it's the seas or the bite causing an uproar. If you're marking fish or are seeing signs of life, the boat should be making turns and running circles. As an angler, it is your responsibility to 1, keep your bait in fishable blue water, and 2, don't let your bait get tangled in your teammates' lines or the squid or the dredges. Pro tip, if you're not 100% certain on where your bait is, reel up on your bait until you find it and can be certain that it is clear of any potential issues. For long hot days on the water, I like to pack a Yeti 14-liter tote to serve as a grab bag for my anglers. We have cold drink refrigeration on board, but being able to take a batch of drinks into the bridge during a quick run or inside the salon for a post-day powwow is seriously so convenient. Plus, it's such a pretty bag and doubles as a beach cooler when at the dock. Step 3, feeding the fish and understanding the circle hook set. Every bite is different, but the principles behind feeding a billfish with a circle hook remain the same. The bait needs to be consumed fully before the circle hook can find its mark in the corner of the jaw. The design of the hook is specific to the fact that it won't snag a fish in the guts or gills on the way out, unlike a J-hook or an offset hook. And if the fish is turned away from the boat, the hook will then catch on the corner of the jaw. Circle hooks provide better hookup ratios than J-hooks and have done wonders for billfish conservation, but they demand a level of skill and understanding when used used while trolling. When a billfish eats, it often stops moving as it consumes the bait and then turns away. If the bait is pulled out of the fish's mouth before it turns, the hook will not be set. As the angler, your responsibility is to feed the fish without backlashing the reel or placing too much tension so that the fish cannot properly eat. The technique I teach is to feed the fish with only the slightest touch applied to the reel by your right thumb, just barely a graze. If you are getting burned, that is far too much pressure. Remember, we want as little resistance as possible, and every bend in the line offers resistance. So it is very important to point the rod tip at the fish when feeding from the flats or the outrigger when feeding from the longs. Additionally, the action of dropping the rod tip offers energy to counteract the sudden force applied to the reel when a fish eats, helping mitigate the odds of a backlash on an aggressive bite. This same principle is applied when a long line pops out of the clip, at which point you want to point the rod at the fish, no longer at the outrigger. Pro tip: when feeding the fish, it is important to watch the reel. The second that the speed of which line is leaving the reel increases, the angler must then set the drag to strike. This speed change indicates that the fish has turned away from the boat and the hook can now be set. Once you change the drag to strike, reel down on your fish and pull your rod tip up. If the feed has been executed properly, the line should then leave the reel quickly, indicating a successful hook set. Step 4. Managing drag and keeping the line tight. Sailfish, white marlin, and striped marlin often feed in schools, which means where there is one, there should be more. Competitive light tackle fishing isn't about catching fish one bite at a time. No. The idea behind catching doubles, triples, and even quads is about hooking a fish and then proceeding to present baits at various speeds around that fish. If you have a hooked fish, you have one very important job: keeping your line tight so that the captain can identify where that fish is at all times. This allows them to circle it and hopefully get the remaining anglers additional bites. In Mag Bay, we are set at 8 pounds of drag at strike. Too much pressure and the line will break. Not enough pressure and you will let too much line out and lose the location of the fish. It is important to be able to understand and recognize when the line is leaving the reel because of the fish and when it is leaving due to water pressure from the belly in the line. If the line is leaving the reel but you can stop it with light pressure from your thumb, this means that it is the belly in the line that is causing the line to leave and not the fish itself. Use your thumb to then help increase the drag and pick up that belly. This is also a good way to add a bit of heat and get the fish's head turned towards the end of the fight. When turning on fish, it is a question of letting them take drag and then pick up belly, often repeatedly as the team fishes around you. The second you can gain line, you need to do it quickly and effectively. Too much slack in the line and you risk losing the fish. Keep it tight and be aware of the belly at all times. Having a Yeti Rambler bottle with leak-proof straw cap filled with electrolytes is a great solution for anglers that are in the grind for an extended period of time. Step 5. Strategies behind safe and successful wiring. Wiring a fish is the practice of bringing the fish boat side to either 1. Cut the line close to the hook, 2. Remove the hook, particularly when lure fishing with J-hooks, or 3. Tagging the fish. Depending on the health of the fish after the fight, this is also the opportunity to swim the fish, the process of pushing water and therefore oxygen through its gills, identify the fish, like in a tournament, or harvest the fish. Per IGFA, a fish is considered caught when the leader touches the wireman's hands or the tip of the angler's rod, and can be up to 30 foot long in length for a mainline of 20 pounds and up. Billfish have the ability to cause severe damage to vessels and people, and therefore having a knowledgeable wireman on the leader is a question of safety. It is very important that the wireman understands a few key processes. 1. Proper wraps. Double wraps prevent line from slipping. Wraps should always be over the palm, not the wrist or the forearm, so that if the leader needs to be dumped, the wireman is not in danger of getting tangled. 2. Keeping your hands low. It is vital that the wireman keeps their hands low so that the swivel or hook does not come back to hit them or anyone else in the cockpit in the body or face. That being said, shit happens, so always wear sunglasses to protect your eyes when wiring. 3. Know when to let go. If the fish jumps away, give or dump the line. Do not hang on and definitely do not pull. Otherwise, you risk a snap swivel coming back to your face or the fish getting flipped backwards and likely coming back to the boat with high momentum. This could be extraordinarily dangerous. We do not want a lively fish in the cockpit, unless it's gonna win us millions of dollars. If the goal is to break a fish off quickly, take double wrap and pull your hands low. If the goal is to lay the fish boat side, move with the fish, give slack when you need to, and gain when you can. Do not let your feet be glued to the deck. Unless you plan on harvesting the fish, do not pull it on board. Scientific studies have shown that once a billfish is removed from the water, mortality rates increase significantly. Fish for tomorrow and release that fish healthy. In an uncontrolled environment, control what you can. When the wild demands your best, make sure that you and your gear are up to the standard. Use what's built for the wild as you chase your wild. And those are my 5 steps for billfishing success in a light tackle fishery. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe for more educational billfish content.